Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining me. This class that you've joined is all about twists, the twisting class. So we'll do a whole different bunch of different twists, laying on our back, in a seat, on all fours, tabletop, and standing. A lot of different ways to twist the body. Why do we twist? Why are twists important? Um, to keep spinal mobility, to keep the spine from stiffening, atrophying. You want to have good movement in the spine, side to side, in particular in the low back. Twists also can be really beneficial for our digestive organs and our metabolism. So if you can visualize when you come into a twist, just a little twist, what that does is it restricts a little bit, just temporarily, the flow of blood and oxygen to the digestive organs, the stomach, the kidneys, the liver, etc. And then when you come out of the twist, that allows fresh new blood and oxygen to enter those organs and kind of clean them out, detoxify them, make them work a little more efficiently. Twists can help reduce back pain, especially the low back, which is common for many of us for overdoing, whether it's exercise or sleeping wrong, housework, backyard work, anything like that. Last benefit of twists, there are more, but the major ones, is it does help decrease anxiety and stress. So it opens the chest and the shoulders and the neck, which allows us to breathe more deeply and more efficiently, and thereby help reduce stress and anxiety. So many benefits to twists, which is why we're doing them today, which is why this is twist class. So let's come to our mats, and we're going to start this practice laying on our back with a recline twist. So take a moment and lay down flat. Before we begin, before we come into our first twist, let's hug the knees in close. Wrap the arms around the shins, around mid-shin, and rock a little side to side. And we do this, I do this little rocking side to side, circling around on the low back a lot. Just another method to just kind of relieve some low back pain. All right, you're going to keep the right knee hugged in, and then you're going to take the left leg long. You're going to twist over to your left. You're going to ground the left shoulder blade. So press that arm into the mat. Take the right arm, however, and you're going to reach it long by the ear. So that shoulder blade, upper back on the right side is going to be slightly elevated. And now begin to turn the left side of the rib cage over to the right. So one thing to keep in mind with twists, you can control always the degree to how deep you take the twist. So especially early, first one we're doing in this class, maybe don't go as deep. All right, maybe, halfway through the class where the spine, the body's a little more warmed up, you can go a little deeper. But if you feel any tightness or resistance or pain, discomfort at all, especially in the low back, that's your cue to come out of that twist. Decrease the degree, decrease the lever, as we say. Let's stay here on this side 2 more breaths. So you want to focus here. Of course, that spinal mobility we discussed, but also with that right shoulder blade, upper back lifted, you want to direct the breath, direct the attention to the sides of the waist and the backs of the ribs, filling those areas with breath and finding a little more space and expansion there. Stay 1 more breath in this opening, easy twist. And then you're slowly going to come on to your back. And you're going to take the other side. So first, slide the right leg to straight. Hug the left knee into the chest. Keep it hugged in. Take your time. Roll over to your right. So this time, you're going to press the right shoulder blade arm into the mat. The left arm, you're going to sweep long by the ear. When you're ready, you're going to start to slowly spin the torso to the left. And we're going to pause here a few breaths. So another thing to keep in mind with the twists is the neck. So the neck is part of the spine, all right, cervical spine. But the neck is an area in the body that's very easy to tweak, throw out a joint, pinch a nerve, have discomfort. It's very common to have a tight neck, less mobility. So you want to be really cautious in twists. of how far you turn the head. So you don't have to always turn and look over the shoulder. It's not necessary to go that deep into the twist. It's just gonna, if you have problems with your neck, it's just going to make those worse. So maybe be a little more mindful of how far you take the neck into any of these twists we do. Stay here one more breath. And then let's roll onto the back again. Bring the feet down to the mat. Take a moment, just rest the hands, either let them rest lightly on the belly, you could rest them by the sides. A couple breaths here. Just find that grounding of the low back and maybe right off the bat, just in those opening breaths in that easy twist, you already feel a little more expansion across the chest, and your breath in and out through the nose is coming a little easier. All right, from here, just bring yourself up to a seat, just roll up, find your way up, maybe get, again, always good idea to have on hand, any practice you do, to have maybe something comfy to sit on, a cushion, firm cushion, or a folded blanket. It doesn't have to be a yoga blanket like I have. It can be, like an Afghan or a stadium blanket, but get a good fold in it. Pillows I'm not fond of because they're usually not supportive. Okay, if it's a real firm pillow, okay, but more a cushion or a blanket if you want to sit on something. Another good prop to have, don't need it now, is a yoga block. All right, if you have one, always good to have it on hand. You never know when you're going to need it. Here in our seat, you're going to sit up tall, lengthen through the spine. Maybe let the eyes drift shut, let the hands rest on the knees or thighs, and take just a couple of easy breaths here. So as you breathe in, you want to lengthen up from the low back through the crown of the head. And as you exhale, you want to feel a little more grounding, firmness through your seat. Let's breathe like that one more time. Inhale, sit up a little taller. And then exhale, ground down a little more securely. Drop the right hand to the mat. Outside the right hip, have a little bend in the elbow. You're going to take the left arm over the ear and find a side bend. So if the mat's a little far away, you're straining, that's where you get that block under your hand. Maybe begin to turn. So this is not a full twist. It's more of a little rotation of the spine. Then maybe turn slightly, look under the left arm, maybe up at the left hand. Again, watch the neck. Take another breath here in the side bend, and then rise. And right away, side two. Left hand down, bend the elbow, spin the right arm over the ear, and slowly begin to turn, revolve, left side of the ribs to the right. Maybe look under the right arm or up towards the right hand, if your neck is okay with it. Take another breath here. And then rise, and now we twist. So we turn over to the right, drop the left hand to the right near thigh. The right fingertips are going to go behind you, kind of right in line with the low part of the back. So you want to use that hand, those right fingers, you want to press firmly into the pads of the fingers to help you sit up a little taller. So again here, no need to over crank the spine. You don't have to turn all the way. Maybe decrease the degree, the rotation here, if you meet any resistance or tightness in the low back. Do keep sitting up tall, so you don't want to collapse into that low back. Nice tall posture. Take another breath here. And then come back to center and take the seated twist to your left. Maybe walk the left fingers in a little closer towards the back. Watch too, in these twists, the position of the neck. So again, we don't want to tuck the chin in towards the chest. We don't want to lift through the chin, like shove the chin forward. We want to have it kind of right, nice in the middle, right between those two spots so we keep the neck protected. Take another breath here in this easy seated twist. And then you're going to turn all the way forward, uncross the legs. If you were sitting on a blanket or cushion, come off of it and push it to the side. We'll bring it back later. From here, you're going to come onto all fours, hands and knees. So let's set up this properly. Hand shoulder distance. Spread the fingers, a little softness in the elbows. The hips are right over the knees. You can either press the tops of the feet into the mat, or you can tuck the toes and lift the heels. You choose. And let's take here a few rounds of cat-cow. All right, to warm up the spine. So round, and now you drop the chin to the chest, hollow the belly out. And then you go the other way. You open, broaden across, gaze forward. And you keep going this way a few rounds. So kind of slow and deliberate. This cat-cow. Excellent poses. Little sequence for warming up, articulating the whole spine. The neck down to the sacrum and all the places in between. Kind of a classic spinal warm-up. So the twists are super good for spinal mobility, but this is equally important here. Let's take one more time like this, and then we'll add a little twist. One more cat, one more cow. All right, now come to your cat pose again. Come to a neutral position in your tabletop. And now you're just going to turn slightly and gaze over the right shoulder. Come back forward and open the heart to cow. Let's do that a couple more times. So slowly round in for cat. Neutral, gaze between the hands. Just a little turn and peek over the left shoulder. And then as you come back forward, you open, broaden across the chest into cow. Just one more each side. So first, round back into your cat. Neutral table. Take a little peek over the right shoulder, but don't let the hips twist with you. That's important too. Back, forward, open, broaden, cow. Last one, round the spine, tuck the chin, cat. Neutral table. A little bitty twist, a little peek over that left shoulder. Come back, last time for now to cow pose. From here, walk the knees back, step them back a little further to the back of your mat. You're going to sink the hips back and drop the heart down and find a child's pose. Our resting pose, always a good pose to come to if you get tired, out of breath during the class, any class. But for now, we're going to make this a little more active, and we're going to add in just a little twist. All right, so keep the knees and the hips facing forward. You're going to do like a little half turn to the right and start to walk the hands off the mat towards the right. So the hips will rise up a little. That's okay. One more breath. All right, now from here, first thing you're going to do is pop onto that left elbow. Then you're going to join the hands together in a prayer position. Try to bring the thumbs in towards the chest, and then you're going to turn open a little bit more to the right and reach that right elbow to the sky. So here, definitely, because you're lifted up higher, the upper body's lifted higher, the lower body is also going to lift, and that's okay. Take another breath here in this prayer twist and child's. And then slowly come back to center, come back to child's. Arms overhead, press into the palms or tendon fingers. Melt the heart down, drop the forehead down, sink the hips back towards the heels. All right, other side first. Little half turn to the left, just a little. Don't let the knees move, don't let the hips move. Walk the hands off to the left. All right, now lift the chest a little, just enough you can pop onto that right elbow. Bring the right hand and left hand to meet in prayer. Maybe press the thumbs into the sternum and then turn open. Maybe gaze up towards that left elbow. See if you can lift it up towards the sky a little more. Let's take one more breath here. All right, slowly come back forward, and from here you're going to come back onto tabletop, back onto the hands. You're going to keep the right hand on the mat, and you're going to spin the left arm to the sky. Turn, twist, look up at that left hand. All right, watch the hand. Keep the gaze on it. As you slowly reach it down and thread it under the right arm, you're going to lower carefully onto that left outer shoulder, side of the head, and to thread the needle. Keep the hips high, so not sinking back into that child's pose that we did before. This is a different pose. All right, you can keep the right hand on the mat in line with the face, elbow bent. You can reach it long by the ear, crawl the fingers forward, get a little more space in the shoulder and upper back. Or last alternative, you can sweep the right arm behind the back and come into half bind. Maybe the right fingers find the left thigh or not, upper thigh. Take 2 more breaths here. Again, try to open up a little more, but watch really carefully the neck here in this twist. Another breath in and out. All right, you're going to press down through the right hand. You're going to keep the left, you're going to keep the chin tucked as you reach the left arm back up to the sky into that twist. And then exhale, you're going to come back to all 4 hands and knees where we started. Other side, press down firmly through the left hand. Take the right arm up. So first kind of look, watch the neck again, look up at the right hand. Keep watching the hand. Be slow here, like slow-mo. Reach it under, thread it under the left. Lower onto right outer shoulder, side ahead. Again, hips stay high, don't sink back. Okay, more at that tabletop position than child's pose. Same steps with the left hand, keep it where it is. Take it long by the ear. Sweep it around the back for a half bind. Then we have 3 breaths here. So try, if you're able, to open a little more. Lift that left shoulder up towards the sky a little more. Open right side of the ribs, the chest. So here's a good example of expanding across the chest, decreasing stress and anxiety, inviting a deeper breath in. It's a good example. One more breath. All right, press down through the left hand, open back up to the right arm to the sky, easy twist, and then drop both hands to the mat, shoulder distance. From here, we're going to tuck the toes, lift the knees, step the feet back to a high plank, and then you're going to take the hips up and find downward dog. All right, so before we go deeper and add in a twist to the down dog, take a few rounds of breath here to set this up, this first down dog of this practice. Again, hand shoulder distance, a little bend in the elbows. Make sure you got a little bend. You don't want to lock out the joints. And the feet, ideally hips distance, but you can go a little wider. We're going to go a little wider in just a moment. But for now, ideally, if you can, hips distance, a little or big bend in the knees to accommodate the hamstrings and the low back. Begin to reach those sit bones up a little higher towards the ceiling and drop the chest down a little deeper towards the ground. All right, now step the feet a little wider than they were. Not as wide as the mat, maybe, a few inches from the edges of the mat, so a little wider. And then step the feet in like half a step, just half a step closer towards the top of the mat. So we're in a slightly wider and slightly shorter downward dog. You're going to press down more firmly with the right hand. You're going to turn to the right, look under the right shoulder, and then you're going to take the left hand, reach it under the body, see if you can attach it to the outer right ankle, or maybe you need to bring it up a little higher, outer shin, or even outer knee or thigh. Again, all 10 toes point forward, knees point forward, and the fronts of the hips point forward. Twists, when we do twist, one other thing, all twists, they're from the upper body up, all right, waist up. Lower body usually does not participate in the twist, occasionally. One more breath. All right, come back forward, both hands down. Take a breath, gaze back between the feet, downward facing dog. All right, first we take a little, again, it's like a little half turn, not a full twist, to your left. Ground down more through the left hand. Float the right hand up, reach it under the body, and hold on to some part of that left lower leg. Ankle maybe a little higher up. Gazing under the left arm, watch the neck, and breathe here. One more breath. All right, turn back forward, step the feet back to downward facing dog, and take a couple breaths there. Breathing in and out. Deep breaths in, breathing in through the nose, and out through the nose. All right, from here, bend the knees, and then look forward to the top of the mat, and then step or walk forward. Maybe have that block nearby. It might come in handy. Have it near the top of the mat, lower medium height. You're going to bring that block, if you're using it, right in front of the right foot. Otherwise, you don't need the block. You can, again, tent on to fingertips in front of the foot or bring the palm all the way down. You want to bend the right knee deeply. Keep the left leg straight or mostly straight. And you're going to bring the left hand to the hip or low back. Again, toes face forward, knees face forward, hip points face forward. From the waist, you're going to turn open to your left. You can keep the left hand where it is. You can reach it up to the sky, or as we did in thread the needle, you can wind it behind the back and take a half bind. So you're in a revolved forward fold, a twisted forward fold. Take one more breath. All right, now you're gonna come back forward and straighten both legs, so it's fine to keep the knees a little bent. And you're gonna fold right down the middle for a couple breaths before we take side two. So let the spine really hang down. Knees can be bent. Hands, if they can't reach the mat, can be on a block. All right, lift halfway. Now you're going to bend the left knee. So again, either left hand on the mat or use your block. Bring the right hand to the right hip. So that right leg is mostly straight. Feel free to have a gentle bend in the knee though. And now slowly start to revolve open to the right. Twist. This forward fold. Again, right hand can stay where it is, low back. Kind of a nice spot to remind you not to let the hips move. But if you want, you can reach the right arm straight to the sky, or you can take it behind you for a half bound variation. So left knee bent, right leg mostly straight, though again, it's okay to keep a little micro bend in the knee. Take another breath here, and then turn forward, and once again, straighten the leg. So fine again to keep a little or big bend in the knee, but you're folding right down the middle, draping over the shins. Hands can be on your mat or blocks. You could take hold of opposite elbows here and kind of sway the hips side to side. So this is another good pose, like cat-cow, to let the spine kind of decompress, lengthen. One more breath. All right, now bend the knees. Slowly rise up. Take your time, not being in a hurry. And you'll find yourself standing tall in mountain pose at the top of your mat facing forward. You're going to cross the right foot over the left. So you can go really narrow here to where the pinky toes touch, or you can walk the feet a little wider, or go wider still. You choose. You will need to bend the knees more with this cross foot position than you would if the feet were parallel. Reach the arms overhead. You're going to start circling the left wrist with the right fingers. Give that left arm a little tug. And now we're going to start in a side bend. So bend over to your right, but bump the left hip out to the side. Ground evenly through the soles of both feet to support you, because crossing the feet this way can throw your balance off just a little bit. One more breath in the side bend. All right, now rise, release the wrist, keep the feet crossed, knees bent. Slowly come back down to the mat into a crossed foot forward fold. And we are here for 2 breaths. Again, you can tent onto the fingers. You could have 1 or 2 yoga blocks under the hands. Bend the knees more if you need. Take 1 more breath. All right, slowly walk the hands in. Come all the way up to stand and then uncross the feet. So once again, all 10 toes face forward, feet are parallel. Let's take side 2. Cross left foot in front right. And again, you decide how you want them lined up. Might feel better on this side to go a little narrower, a little closer in, or it might feel better to take them a little wider. You choose. Ground through the feet, bend the knees, lift the spine. Take the arms overhead by the ears. Hold on now, right wrist, circle with the left fingers, and start bending over to your left side as you bump the right hip over to the right. Again, may find if you feel shaky, bend the knees more. Focus on grounding evenly through both feet. As you inhale, rise, let go of the wrist. And from here, you're going to come back into that crossed foot forward fold. Use your block under the hands if necessary. Take 2 more breaths here. And then 1 more. And then while you're folding forward, uncross the feet. Bring the feet back to parallel. Walk the hands in. And once again, slowly rise all the way up to stand. All right, now from here, we're going to take 3 rounds of half sun salutation, just to kind of get the rest of the body, whole body warmed up and moving. You can keep the feet really close in, so now the mounds of the big toes touch, or you can keep the feet a little separate. Choose what feels better to you today. With your inhale, reach the arms to the sky. Let the palms join. And then exhale, take a big dive down like you're diving into a pool. Come back to the mat. Have blocks ready if you need for your hands. Press the palms to the shins. Gaze forward, flatten the spine. And then exhale, fold again. Rise as you inhale. Circle the arms overhead, join the palms. And then as you exhale, release the arms by the side, stand tall, roll the shoulders back, and mountain pose. 2 more, just like that, easy and slow. Inhale, circle up, gaze up. Exhale, fold back down. The knees can be bent as you come back to that forward fold. Press the palms to the low shins, gaze forward, and then exhale, deep forward fold. Rise, inhale. Arms reach skyward, gaze up, lengthen up. Exhale, lower the arms by the sides. Again, roll the shoulders back. Feel again that broadening across the chest, maybe a little less tension. The breath comes a little easier and fuller. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, reach skyward, gaze up. Exhale, dive back down. Press the palms to the shins. Flatten, kind of stick the butt out as you gaze forward. And then fold again, exhale. Rise, straight legs, arms sweep up, gaze up towards the thumbs. Exhale, release the arms down by the sides. So we're going to add on to that now. 2 rounds of sun salutation A. Inhale, we start the same way, reach up, gaze up. Exhale, dive back down to the ground. Again, half lift, palms to shins. This time, hands down, step back to plank pose. And you're going to lower all the way down to the mat. You can come down through top of the push-up or drop onto the knees. Forehead, chest on the mat. Legs are long. Step the hands in by the outer ribs. You're going to bend the elbows and hug the outer ribs in. And then you're going to lift up into a low cobra pose. Right, low cobra. You're going to keep the chest, shoulders, head lifted. And you're going to slowly turn and just see if you can peek over the right shoulder without stressing the neck. Come back to center, maybe lift a tiny bit higher, and then slowly do these rotations slow. Little twist, look over to the left. Come back to center, lower the forehead to the mat, tuck the toes, lift a plank, lift the hips up, walk the feet in to downward dog. We take 2 breaths here. So deep breath in through the nose, and a full breath out through the nose, same way. One more round, inhale. And then exhale deeply. And then bend your knees, look to the top of the mat, step or walk forward. Again, palms to shins, gaze forward. Exhale, fold. Rise with your inhale, circle the arms overhead, join the palms. With your exhale, release the arms by the sides. Let's do that again, same exact thing. Inhale, circle up, gaze up. Exhale, flat back. Slowly come back down to the mat. Palms to shins, look out in front of you. Hands down, step to plank. Once again, you're going to lower all the way down to the mat. Forehead down, hands back, squeeze, bend the elbows, lift up, cobra pose. This time, let's start that little twist to the left. Maybe peek over the left shoulder, watch the neck, decrease the twist if you need. Back to center, maybe lift a tiny bit higher. Slowly turn, peek over the right shoulder. Back to center, cobra pose. Lower the forehead down. Tuck the toes, press into the hands. Lift a high plank. Take the hips to the sky. Downward facing dog. Again, we're here for 2 big breaths. If you get tired, you need a break, take a break. Come back to child's pose that we did earlier. But keep breathing fully, whatever you're doing. One more deep inhale. And another big exhale. And then bend your knees, look forward, step walk to the top of your mat. Palms press to shins, open the heart. Exhale, fold. Rise up, sweep the arms skyward. Once again, join the palms overhead, look up towards the sky. And then exhale, bring the hands to the heart in prayer. You're going to press the thumbs into the chest, and you're going to bend the knees and come into chair pose, deep squat. So here in a chair, we're going to do 3 different rounds of this. So you can either keep the knees, inner feet pressing together, or if it feels better on your low back, you can take the feet, say about hips distance, maybe a little narrower. See what feels better? Sink down a little deeper, knees right over the ankles. Gaze out in front of you, don't round the spine. Now from here, you're going to twist this chair to the right. See if you can attach left elbow to outer right knee. Gaze up towards the right elbow. Come back to center. And then twist this chair pose to your left. If the elbow and knee don't meet, it's fine to have that bottom elbow hovering. Come back to center. Hold a breath. And then now you're going to straighten the legs and reach the palms overhead. Exhale, fold back down to the mat. Take a half lift as you inhale, palms to shins, hands down, step to plank. Drop down onto all fours, hands and knees. You're going to take one round of cat-cow, round in for cat. Exhale, open up to cow. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. You're going to take the right leg to the sky to three-leg dog. You're going to step it forward, drop onto the left knee, and bring yourself up to a low lunge. Start with the hands on the knees or thigh, tall spine. Once again, like we did in that chair, you're going to bring the hands to prayer, press the thumbs into the chest, and now you're going to twist again to your right. Maybe in this low lunge, a little lower down, you can bring that left elbow outside the right knee. Watch where the right hip is though. Keep it in the center line. Don't let it travel off to the right. One more breath. Come back to center. Hands down. Just step back onto all fours. So just bring that right knee back to the mat. You're going to round in again for cat. You're going to open up, broaden across the chest for cow. Tuck the toes. Let the hips lift to the sky. Downward facing dog. To the left side now. Take the left leg up, three-leg dog. Exhale, step it through. Drop onto the right knee. Walk the hands in. Spine tall. To begin, rest both hands on that left thigh as you lengthen up through the spine. Join the hands at the heart in that prayer position. And you're going to twist to the left. Maybe drop the right elbow outside the left knee. Maybe turn, look at the left elbow. Guide the left hip to the center. So don't let it sway out off the left edge of the mat. One more breath, turn forward, hands down. Just step that left foot back to tabletop. Just step it right back. Curl in for cat. Open up for cow. Tuck all 10 toes. Lift the hips up. Find downward facing dog for 2 breaths. So we breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. And makes, again, for that more efficient breath. So maybe here, as we hang out here in downward dog another moment, maybe already with the twists we've done, there's already more space in the chest. The breath feels a little fuller, a little easier, a little less stressed. Bend your knees, look forward, walk, step to the top of your mat, press the palms to the shins, gaze forward, and then exhale, you're going to take a deep forward fold again. You're going to rise on straight legs, sweep the arms over, up, palms meet. Once again, lower the hands to the heart in prayer, glue the thumbs into the chest. Rebend the knees, find your chair pose. Once again, you can go narrow or a little wider. Keep the heart open though. You don't want to be gazing down at the ground. You want to be gazing out in front of you. Let's twist this time to the left, starting there. Again, don't worry if elbow and knee don't meet. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, twist to your right, twisted chair. Come back to your center. Straighten the legs, reach the arms overhead, keep the palms together. And then exhale, fold back down to the ground. Half lift, inhale. Gaze forward. Hands down. Step to plank. Lift the hips up. Downward facing dog. Take the right leg to the sky, three-leg dog. This time as you step forward, you're going to rise into a high lunge pose. So the back toes tucked, heel lift, front knee bent, back leg straight. Start with arms by the ears, stretching the fingers skyward, spine is tall. Once again, you're going to join the hands at prayer, at the heart. You're going to turn to your right, but this time we're going to keep the spine tall. But we're going to open the arms wide. Reach the fingers in opposite directions. Stretch them long. Open up more space again in the chest and upper back in this twisted high lunge pose. Slowly turn back forward. Reach both arms up to the sky by the ears. And then you're going to lean forward. Bring the hands to the mat. Step to plank. Drop back down to all fours. Again, round in for cat. Open the chest for cow. Lift the hips up. Find downward facing dog. Take the left leg to the sky to three-leg dog. As you exhale, you're going to take a big step forward. Then you're going to rise up to high lunge on side 2. So right toes tucked, right heel lifts, right leg is super strong to support you. Join the hands at the heart. Keep the spine tall though as you twist open to the left. And then you open the arms wide, opposite directions. One more breath. Turn all the way forward. Arms by the ears, gaze forward, high lunge. And then as you exhale, release the hands all the way to the mat. Step back to plank. Drop on all fours. Round the spine again, cat. Open the chest for cow. Tuck the toes. Let the hips rise back up to downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. Take a break if you need a break. Breathing in deeply. And then exhaling fully. One more breath like that. Big breath in. And then exhale. Let the breath go through the nose. Breathe out. Exhale through the nose. And then bend the knees. Look to the top of the mat. And again, step or walk forward. Press the palms to the shins. Look out in front of you. And then exhale, fold. Rise on straight legs. Circle the arms overhead. Let the palms connect. And then exhale. Hands back to the heart. One more time. Keep the hands at the heart in prayer. And bend the knees back to chair pose. One more time. To chair. One more time. All right, let's start on the first side. Let's twist this chair again to the right without letting the hips come into the twist. Okay, waist up, belly up. Turn forward. Twist to the left. Back to center. Straighten the legs, reach the palms up, gaze up towards the thumbs. Exhale, fold back down to your mat. Palms to shins, gaze forward, hands down. Step to plank. Let the hips rise to downward facing dog. Take the right leg back to the sky. As you exhale, step it through and find runner's lunge pose. All right, so both hands stay on the mat this time. Again, you can tent onto fingers. You could have a block under both hands. Left toes are tucked, left heel is lifted, and that left leg is very strong and engaged. Keep the left hand on your mat or block. You're going to spin open to the right, reach the right arm to the sky. If the neck is okay, look up at the right hand. Watch that right hip. Keep it in the center. Turn all the way forward. Step to plank, and this time we're just going to hold plank a breath. Big breath in. Deep breath out. And then let the hips rise to downward facing dog. Take the left leg to the sky to 3-leg dog. Exhale, big step through. Brain the front foot, hand on either side of that left foot, or use your blocks, runner's lunge. Right hand remains down. Twist open to the left, left arm skyward. Watch the left hip. Open up. One more breath. Unwind, hands down. Step the left foot to plank, and again, hold this plank a breath. Lift up a little more through the legs and the core. One more breath. Take the hips back up to downward dog. This time, take a big breath in through the nose. And you're going to open the mouth and exhale. All right. Take the right leg to the sky to 3-leg dog. You're going to roll forward to plank, and as you do, bend that right knee in towards the nose. So curling back to like a cat pose. Inhale. To straighten the right leg to 3-leg dog. This time as you roll forward, aim the right knee, bend the right knee, and aim it towards the right elbow. Inhale. Back to 3-leg dog. This time we twist, we roll to plank, and we twist to the left, and we aim the right knee towards the left elbow. Back to 3-leg dog. Lift the leg to the sky. As you exhale, slowly lower the foot down towards the mat. Back to downward facing dog. Left side. Take the left leg up to 3-leg dog. Exhale, roll forward, knee to nose, chin to chest, belly to spine. Straighten the leg to the sky. Roll forward, aim the left knee towards the left tricep. 3-leg dog, inhale. Now you twist over to the right. Back to 3-leg dog. Lower the left foot down, downward dog. Take a breath here, and we're going to repeat all that, but do it from a plank position. All right, so you're going to roll a high plank. You're going to float the right toes up to hover, so you're in a 3-leg plank. Again, you're going to bring the knee to the nose, curl in. Extend the leg back, keep the toes hovering. Now, right knee back to right elbow. Exhale, back to 3-leg plank. Twist again to your left. 3-leg plank. Lower the right foot down into plank. Left side, last part. Float the left toes up, let them hover. And then you bend the knee towards the nose. Extend the leg back to three-leg plank. Left knee to left elbow. Three-leg plank. Twist to your right. Three-leg plank. Drop the toes down. Now from here, from your plank, drop the knees down. Sit to either side of the hips. And you're going to come lay on your back. Come lay on the back. So the core work we're going to do in this class, we're going to add on a little twist to it. So first, as you lay on your back, you're going to hug both knees into the chest. You're going to shift the hips to the left, okay? Towards like the left side of the mat. Keep the knees bent, keep them together, and you're going to let them fall all the way to the mat. If the bottom leg doesn't come to the mat, you could get like a folded blanket or a t-shirt under them. All right, now you're going to start to turn the chest. So it's not twisting all the way to the left. Mostly you're facing up towards the ceiling. All right, so gaze is up towards the ceiling and kind of both sides of the chest are facing up towards the sky. You're going to bring the hands behind the head, elbows wide. And now you're going to start to lift the head and shoulders and back down. So as you lift, you're kind of gazing at that left outer hip. So it's not a full twist, but just enough. So the lower body is twisting. Upper body is kind of, kind of a half twist, not all the way over to the left, but about halfway there. Let's get 3 more of these, lifting up. Try not to tug on the head. Just fingertips resting lightly on the back of the skull. 1 more. Hold. See if you can lift both shoulder blades up a little more. And then lower all the way down. Roll onto the back. Hug the knees in. Again, that little rock side to side. Maybe circle around on the low back. And then let's get these crunches, these twisted crunches to the second side. So keep the knees bent, knees together, inner ankles pressed together. Shift the hips to the right. Allow the knees to fall to the left. Again, maybe if you need more support, could a folded towel or t-shirt, say, underneath that bottom leg. Hands behind the head, elbows wide. So again, you're not turning all the way to the right. Chest is facing up more towards the ceiling. And then as you lift, gaze is sort of at that right outer hip, right glute, say. Right? So for a point of focus, a focusing point, that's kind of where you should be looking. Let's get a few more, easy. Not too challenging, hopefully. We have 2 more. And we have 1 more, and this time we're going to hold. And we're maybe, if it's there, going to lift a little bit higher. And then release down, roll onto the back. That was part 1 of our core work. Part 2, we're going to lift the legs to the sky. You can have the knees, a little or a lot bent. And inner knees, so preferably pressing together. Bring the hands back behind the head, elbows wide. This time you're going to lift to center, and now you're going to twist side to side. And the elbow outside the opposite knee. So what you want to do here, really press that low back into the mat. So you don't want to feel it lift up. You may need to bend the knees more. You do not want to bring the legs closer to the torso. You want to bring the torso up to the legs. Now, as you continue here, a few more breaths. You can keep the hands behind the head, or you can start to reach hand to tap, say, the opposite ankle, outer edge of foot. Maybe you could reach the pinky toes. 2 more breaths, twisting side to side. And we have 1 more breath here. All right, lower all the way down. Once again, hug the knees in, wrap the arms around the shins. Drift, rock a little side to side, right, left. Give that low back the love and care and attention it needs. A little self-massage here, rolling around, circling, pressing that low back into the mat. And now from here, roll yourself up. Sweep the hips to one side, the legs to one side of the hips. Come back to your tabletop. Been here a lot in this class. Tuck the toes, lift the knees back to high plank, and then take the hips back up and find downward facing dog again. Take a breath or 2 here, getting back to that nice pattern of breath we've been practicing. Breathing in deeply through the nose, and then exhaling fully through the nose. Take the right leg to 3-leg dog. Exhale, step it forward. Ground both feet. Keep the right knee bent, left leg straight. And now you're going to rise up into warrior two pose. Arms to a T at about shoulder height. Grounding evenly through both feet. Engaging evenly through the bent knee and the straight leg. Turn the right palm to the sky. And you're going to sweep it up and back into reverse warrior. So it's a side bend. But again, finding space in between the ribs to help us with that breath, that deeper breath. Stay in the side bend. Just begin to straighten the right knee into reverse triangle pose. Keep a little soft bend though in that right knee. Don't again want to hyperextend, lock out the joint. One more breath here. Rebend the knee back to warrior two. And then from here, you're going to circle the hands to the mat. Step to plank. Lift the hips up. Back to downward facing dog. Take the left leg to the sky. Exhale. Big step through. Ground the back foot. Come up to warrior two. Left knee bends right over again that left ankle. Turn the right toes in slightly. Ground more through the whole sole of the right foot, in particular the outer edge. Spine is tall. Turn the left palm to the sky. As you sweep it up and back, find that side bend. And as you do, slide the right palm down along the outer thigh, maybe past the outer knee. Stay like this. Slowly we straighten the left side, the left knee. Reverse triangle, both legs straight. So again, little bend in the knee, not locking it out. One more breath. Rebend the left knee to warrior two. Circle the hands to the mat. As you step back to plank and take the hips up again to downward dog. Take an easy breath or two here, breathing in and out. Let's call it one more breath. All right, from here, you're going to roll forward to plank pose. Step the feet together. You're going to step the left palm to the center of the mat, and you're going to lower onto that forearm. And you're going to roll onto the outer edge of the left foot. You're going to lift the top foot up, the right foot up. You're going to bend the knee and bring the foot to the mat. So we're in a modified forearm side plank. Take the right arm to the sky. Turn, if you can, look at the right hand. And then you're slowly going to thread that right arm under the left, like we did on all fours earlier. Inhale. Take the right arm back to the sky. Watch the hand. Exhale. Thread it under the left arm. One more time. Take it up. Lift that left hip up a little more if you can. Come back. Thread the needle. From here, you're going to turn forward and come into a full forearm plank. So both forearms on the mat, toes tucked, knees lifted. One more breath. Lower all the way down into Sphinx pose. So you keep elbows, forearms bent on the mat, lifting up through the low back. Take one more breath. From here, tuck the toes. Lift back to your forearm plank. Come onto the hands to high plank and take the hips up, step the feet in. Back to downward facing dog. All right, step the feet together. Let's take the second side. Roll to plank. From here, step the right hand center of the mat, and right away, you're going to lower on elbow form. Roll outer edge of right foot, and you're going to step that left foot to the mat, bend the knee. So you have a little more support here. Take the left arm to the sky. If you can, turn and look out the left hand. And then you're going to thread it under the right. Reach it back up to the sky. Watch the hand round to thread it under. We have one more. Take that arm to the sky. Slowly reach it under. You're going to come all the way back. Again to your forearm plank. Hold a breath. Drop the knees down. Find your way back to Sphinx pose for 2 breaths. Try to drag the elbows back towards the torso. Lifting up through the low back, not collapsing into that low back. From here, tuck the toes. Lift back to forearm plank. Come back onto the hands. Straighten the arms to high plank. Take the hips skyward. Back again to downward facing dog. Take a breath here. And then bend the knees. Look forward. Walk yourself to the top of the mat. Pop the hands to the hips. And from here, you're going to rise all the way up to stand. Take a big step out, probably with the left leg, and come face the side of your mat. Go wider leg stance, wider than you think you should. Turn the toes out, drop the hands to the thighs, and you're going to bend the knees and come into this goddess pose. All right, so we're a little deeper down in goddess. We're not up as high. And the shoulders are going to be kind of lifting up towards the ears here. From here, we're going to twist this goddess. So we're going to turn to your right. You're going to dip the left elbow down to the mat, and you're going to turn, look over the right shoulder again. Try not to take the hips with you in this twist. One more breath, come back to center. Turn other side, dip the right elbow down, kind of right in between the feet, and turn. If you can, look over the left shoulder. One more breath, come back to center. Slowly straighten the legs. And this time you're going to turn the feet slightly in, slight pigeon toe. Bring the hands to the low back. Open the chest to the sky, squeeze the shoulder blades together. You're slowly going to fold. Maybe have a yoga block within reach here. That'd be helpful. Keep the right hand on the low back. Bring the left hand to the mat or a block. Again, you can just kind of tent onto fingers and make sure that left hand's right under the chest. Don't let the hips go with you. Start to turn open slowly to your right, twisting this wide leg forward fold. All right, you can keep the right hand right where it is. You can reach it up to the sky, or as we've done a couple times already, you can sweep it behind the back for a half bind position, half bind. 2 more breaths here in this revolve forward fold. Not locking out the knees, a little soft bend in both knees. Use a block under that bottom hand if you need. 1 more breath on this side. And then slowly turn forward, flat back, and just change sides right away. Right hand down, you can tent onto fingers. Have a block under the hand. Start. Press the palm, left palm into the low back. Don't let the hips move. Begin to slowly turn open, twist open to your left. When you feel the hips are pretty steady, you can keep the hand there the whole time, or you could choose to take it to the sky, or you could wrap behind you again for that half bound variation. 3 breaths here. Little softness in the knees. Maybe bend them a little more, just like an inch, half an inch. 1 more breath. All right, come forward. Bring both hands down. Start to walk the hands up the legs until you're standing tall. And then step the feet in. And you're going to return, walk back to the top of your mat. From here, sweep the arms overhead, join the palms. And then exhale, fold back down to the ground. Take a half lift as you inhale. Step again to high plank. And take the hips back up. Again to downward facing dog. Take a couple breaths here. Couple moments here. Starting to slow it down a little bit here. Wind it down a little bit. No more standing poses. A couple more twists, a few more twists involved. Take the right leg to the sky. As you exhale, you're going to step it forward. Both hands are going to land inside the right foot. You're going to drop the left knee to the mat. You're going to scoot that leg back, flatten the foot. Have a block nearby. You could have both hands on that block for lizard pose. Keep the right toes facing forward here. You could drop onto elbow swarms or lower them onto a block if you want to go a little deeper. It's a big hip opener. And we're going to take this in a moment to another twist if you want or not. 1 more breath. All right, from here, keep that left hand on the mat or block. Bring the right hand to the right hip. And then begin to turn, twist your lizard to the right. If that's too much, too deep in the hip, you can just keep the chest facing forward. Turn a little deeper if you can. So use that right hand on the hip. It's there. Push it in towards the center line. 1 more breath. Unwind this twisted lizard. Both hands down. Tuck the left toes. Float the left knee up. Step the right foot to plank. Take the hips to the sky. Back again to downward dog. We'll take a breath here. Breathing in and out. Let's try that on side 2. Take the left leg up. 3-leg dog. Exhale. Step it forward. Both hands land inside the left foot. Slowly lower the right knee to the mat, scoot it back a little more length. Reminder, you can have a block under the hands if the mat's a little far. You can stay here in lizard before we twist. You want to go a little deeper, maybe one or both forearms lower to the mat or your block. No need to go deeper. It's not a hip opening class. We're getting that extra benefit, though, of having this nice hip opener here. All right, from here, you're going to keep the right hand down on the mat or block. Pop the left hand to the outer hip. Begin to turn, twist to your left. Maybe you look over the left shoulder. Maybe you can see the back edge of your mat. Again, use that hand there. Kind of a little added assistant here to not let the hip pop to the side. Keep it in the center. Squeeze the inner thighs together. One more breath. You're going to unwind from this. And you're going to step that left foot to tabletop. And while we're here, let's take just 2 more rounds of cat-cow. Curl in, open up. Last one of these today. Curl in and open. And now from here, you're going to come and have a seat. So here's where, again, you can get that nice thick folded blanket, stable blanket, firm cushion, not a pillow. All right. If you have like one of those super hard, super firm pillows, it's okay. But the pillow is just like sitting on marshmallow or a cloud. It just kind of doesn't really give you the purpose of sitting on something is to lift you up a little higher, give your seat some support, give your low back some support. If all you're doing is sinking into a pillow, you might as well just be sitting on the ground. There's really not a lot of benefit. You know, it feels good if you have a hard floor. Then the pillow, yeah, I'll make your seat a little softer, but it doesn't really do much in terms of support that we're looking for. All right, keep the right leg straight and bend the left knee, stepping in. Hug it in close. You want to wrap the arms around that shin and hug the left thigh to the belly. Keep the right arm wrapped around the shin, and you're going to take a twist back to your left. All right, so you want to keep that right leg working here. Flex the foot, push out through the sole of the foot, feel that leg wake up, engage. And again here. All right, so think back to the first seated twist we did early on. Maybe there's space. Maybe we opened up a lot of flexibility, movement, mobility in that back. Maybe you feel you can turn a little deeper, but don't feel like you have to go deeper. All right, remember, anytime you meet resistance in that low back, it's like, oh, that feels really tight. I really have to work here. You don't want to have to work into these twists. You want to make them fluid. So if it's tight, that's your signal. You need to back out a little more. If you can, hold 2 more breaths. If you can, sit up a little taller. Last cue, if you can, turn a little deeper. 1 more breath. Slowly turn forward. You're going to slide the left leg to straight, step the right foot in, ground the foot, hug that thigh and close to the belly. Left leg working the whole time. Turn to your right. Keep the left arm wrapped around the shin. Once again, drop onto those right fingers, push into the fingers, lengthen through the spine. Watch the degree, the lever of your twist, not taking it too deep. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Easy breaths, easy twist. Slowly turn forward. Slide the right leg to straight. Reach the arms long overhead, stretch all 10 fingers to the sky, and then exhale. Let's just take a brief, like 3 breath forward fold. Just an easy forward fold here. So when we do a class, that's for a specific purpose, whether it's twists or quads or shoulders or something. It's not often that the entire class 100% is focused on just that area. It'd be really tough. And those areas would tend to get very sore and overused. So we blend it in. We weave those concepts in throughout other poses like this seated forward fold, which is really good, by the way, for the low back, just like the standing forward folds to decompress and lengthen the spine. The seated ones, exact same thing. 1 more breath. All right, slowly walk yourself up and come lay on your back. And again, if you were sitting on a blanket or a cushion, move it to the side. Do have your block nearby though if you brought a block with you. Come lay on your back and we're going to take a bridge pose variation here. All right, not a twist, but just a little variation. So make sure feet are hips distance, knees are pointing forward, not opening to the side. You don't want this V shape. You want them parallel. Scooting close enough, you can find the backs of your feet, the backs of your heels with your fingers. Have your block close by if you're going to use it. You're going to lift up to bridge, okay? And you can stay here. You can pop that block under you if you want. You can keep both feet on the mat, but if you'd like a little variation, you're going to pull the right knee to the chest and you're going to cross that right ankle outside the left knee, open the right knee to the side, flex the right foot into a figure four shape. So you're in a figure four bridge. You don't have to do this. Reminder, you can just keep both feet on the mat, lift both hips up. One more breath. If you're in this figure four, slowly uncross the right ankle and bring the foot to the mat and stay with both feet on the mat for a breath and bridge. Again, you can have a block under you. If you're trying this figure four bridge, left knee in, cross the left ankle, bend the knee, open the shin, parallel, open the knee to the side, flex the foot deeply to help protect that left knee from overuse. Take one more breath here. Again, uncross the ankle, bring the foot to the mat. If you can, hold bridge with both feet on the mat. 2 more breaths. Let's say 1 more breath. All right, lower down, block to the side. If you were using it, lower all the way down. We're going to finish with 1 more twist, a little different than the one we started with. You're going to walk the feet as wide as the mat. Walk the feet as wide as the mat, knees point up. Now you're going to ground the shoulder blades, both shoulder blades. So you can either have the arms all the way straight, you can have them bent like goalpost or cactus arms, or you can go somewhere in between the two. You're going to let the knees drift over to your right. Don't expect that that right knee is going to come to the mat, all right? It's normal for it to hover a little bit. Keep the shoulder blades grounded, and now start to turn the chest to your left. Maybe the neck participates, or maybe it's better for you to keep the neck neutral so you're kind of gazing up towards the ceiling and you're not turning so deeply that you're gazing over the left shoulder. Let's spend 3 more breaths here in this wider leg twist. Opening up the spine, improving metabolism, digestive health, opening the chest so we breathe a little more easily, getting rid of stress, tension, anxiety as we twist. Slowly come back onto the back, keep the feet wide, knees point up. Gently let the knees drift to the left. Again, maybe some of you that bottom knee will land, but don't worry if it doesn't. And begin to slowly turn the chest to the right. Watch the neck. If it doesn't like this, then your choice, your option is to gaze up towards the ceiling. Keep the neck completely out of the twist. Otherwise, if it's okay, maybe turn, look over the right shoulder. Take 1 more easy breath here. And then slowly roll onto the back. Maybe once again, you hug the knees in, you rock a little right and left as we've been doing. Happy baby pose. If you know that pose, like that pose, you can take it now. And that wraps up our twist class. So hopefully, again, spine feels a little more mobile. It's really normal, especially as we age, or if we spend a lot of time at our desk watching TV, for the spine to start stiffening up. And so the twists can really help that. It can help with that whole spinal mobility, neck mobility as well. The neck, again, is an area can get really stiff and tight. But if you're turning the neck, you need to be really careful, because if you turn too fast or you turn too deep, you could make a bad situation worse. So always be careful with the neck. You'll always hear me stressing, watch the neck, be careful with the neck. So hope you enjoyed. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you in class again soon. Have a great day.